Hello guys, it's Eclipse here, and today I'm looking at the Tier 10 American heavy tank, the T57 Heavy. Now, it does have a 120mm autoloading gun with an damage output of 1,600 with the full clip unloaded into an enemy, although you can obviously high roll 25% or low roll 25% depending on your shots, etc. due to RNG. And it has quite a decent DPM of 3,202 as standard without any attachments or equipment like the gun rammer, or not that you can get a gun rammer, but like vents and brothers in arms and stuff like that, which can improve your reload time obviously because of their bonuses. Now, it does have 228mm of frontal hull armour that is well angled and is quite similar to that of the Tier 9 American heavy tank, the M103 down the other line, not the medium tank that comes at Tier 9 just before this, which is the T54 E1, which is a very similar tank in terms of armour and gun, etc. And it looks similar as well. So then we've got the turret armour, which is substantially worse, 152mm. However, it does have some angles which are just going to bounce quite a lot of your shells anyway. So it does have kind of troll armour on the turret, but I wouldn't rely on it for very much. It does pack a punch, so enemies won't really want to poke you unless they have an kind of overwhelming force to just wreck you after you spread out the damage between a couple tanks or whatever, if you can't just focus one because they pull back or something. So that's the only really time people are going to push you, unless they're in stuff like a Death Star where they know they're going to pen you, or a Waffle which just has a bigger clip potential than you, so they know that they're going to actually just wreck you over. And TDs like the Jaegeru might come around the corner because they've got good armour and they could bounce a shot, and if you bounce then it's worth it for them to actually shoot you. And that's kind of the reasons what people are going to pull around a corner into a 57 Heavy for, unless they're a bit stupid, in which case most players on this game actually are, but that's why I'm trying to help you guys to actually get better and make sure that you don't make any mistakes that I've seen plenty of people do. Obviously, I'm still learning, so it's kind of a bit of a learning curve for both of us as we make these videos and continue it on my YouTube channel. So, I wouldn't recommend trying to go hold down, obviously. This isn't the sort of American tank that you want to be using, like the E5, where you can go hold down and really just dominate, or thing like an IS-7, etc. So, make sure that you can kind of use its decent mobility at 35 kilometers an hour, kind of pale in comparison to the similar AMX-50B, or the French heavy tank, which can go 65 kilometers an hour, but it's still better than quite a few heavy tanks of its tier. So what I would recommend in this tank is definitely to try and go down this line, especially if you've never played autoloaders, as I feel if you go down the kind of the light tank route, it's kind of a fun little line to go down. You get the Derp at tier 8, the T49, and the Walker Bulldog is really nice to play as well. The T37 at tier 6 is also pretty decent as well, with a pretty overpowered gun, to be honest with you. It's I think it used to be called the Chaffee, but they changed the Chaffee with T37 and vice versa, so that's why they've kind of changed their names, and also the look of the tanks as well. And that's kind of the analysis and kind of bit at the start of the video to go off, and we're going to have a look at an Ace Tanker gameplay. Well, not actually an Ace Tanker, it was a 95%er, where we did some nice damage and assisted, etc., and blocked a bit as well. So let's get right into that, and I'll see you there. So here we are with the gameplay section of the review. So we've got the 57 Heavy here on Halluf War. Now, this is obviously the first time I've ever played this map, and this was the first time I actually used the new physics that were implemented into the game. So this was a fairly decent first game with the 57 Heavy, and a fairly first game with the new physics, which is really nice for the amount of damage that I actually did and the assisted damage. Also saw someone that I actually knew in the game on my team, and we both did fairly well. If we combined our damage and assisted damage together, I'm sure it would have been well over 12,000 or so kind of combined damage. So first of all, we've got the 57 Heavy here. As you can see, it's not the fastest of the heavies. The E5 overtaking us there at the start, and we're just moving up onto the heavy tank corner. So this is usually where most of the heavy tanks actually move up to. So the STI there, the Chieftain, we've got the Centurion Action 10, I believe. That might even be the Centurion 7-1. There's also the E5 over there. And we're going to move up onto the ridge line and use our gun depression that we actually get. I believe it's either 8 or 10 degrees or something. I'm pretty sure it's 10 degrees. I'm not 100% sure though. Well, I'll have to confirm that later on. So obviously, as you can see, it's got the 4-shot 122mm gun with the 400 alpha damage. 54E1 there, that's the tier 9 version of this. It's got a longer reload. It's also... gun has a lot less penetration, and we catch the Death Star there. We managed to actually get quite lucky and track him there, and we miss our last shot. So we managed to hit 2 out of that 4, which is kind of annoying, but that's 800 damage there in the bag right at the start of the game, and we've taken no damage in return, which is 100% worth it, even if you do miss them shots. Obviously, we could have got hit there, or at least taken a few shots from the 54E1 had we been unlucky and got spotted first without getting any damage in return. Now, we're waiting here for the E50 to poke out a bit more. We try and put a shot into him, but obviously, as you can see, the matey boy in the E5, I believe, got in front of us and blocked our shot, but it doesn't matter. We put that Centurion 1 in place, and the E5 actually finishes him off there for the kill. So we're up to 5 damaging hits. We managed to get 3 damaging hits in that kind of clip that we unloaded there. We've got 2 target hits as well, and this is the bit where I kind of play relatively bad. Probably shouldn't have even contested a hold down E5, even not an E4. That's not what we're on about here. And there you go. I could have easily been hit by either the VK4502B or the E75, and then even got hit by the E5 if the E5 kind of YOLO'd up and got lucky with his shot. But we move over to the right hand side trying to get some shots on the E5. We don't want to push here because we can get shot in the side from the right on top of the hill, and then we could also get shot if they push through on the left hand side, if they win that kind of side behind the hill there on the left, and then obviously from the front from the E5. So we see the E5, we try and go for the weak spot, but we don't want to be hanging in place because the E5's gun's a lot more accurate, and the aim time's a lot less than in this thing. So we decide I'm going to choose a reload because there is quite a few tanks around us, and we're one of the kind of forward most tanks on our team. So there we go, we see the E75, and as usual I start a reload and someone comes outside on. So we're only hoping that someone else decides to YOLO in, and there we go, the E5 decides to come out of his hold down position, and we're going to just go up and get a shot in there. So there's the E5, tracked him. We go for that little lower left bit, and we shoot again and manage to actually pen him. And then the VK4502B comes up, but we actually bounce off his cupola there. It looked like we actually got the damage, but we didn't, I don't believe, because someone else hit him at the same time, and it came up with some damage that was yellow. It might well have been, but I can't say for sure. Now the VKB's showing the side of his turret, and I was hoping I could get another shot in there, but we don't manage to actually do that. So instead we move up to the right hand hill ridge area here with the E75, and I think, right, it's time to YOLO him. We're going to lose some health, and I was thinking that there's definitely, well, most likely going to be camping TD in the back, but it would be worth it if I did actually take the shot. And the E75 bounces, which is kind of a bit of a troll, and their Chieftain actually manages to pick him up. So we've actually decided that we're going to kind of push our advantage here. I'm going to kind of try and get the ass of whatever that is, but then I realise he's on no health, so there's not much point in really pushing over that way, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be taken out anyway. But he kind of moves back, and I thought, oh, I might be able to get the kill, but still not anyway. So here I decide, probably a bit of a bad mistake, probably if I thought about it, shouldn't have gone there, because we could have easily been taken out by some camping TDs relatively easily, and it happens a lot. And as you can see, an APCR shell from, I believe, an STA2 that was camping in base. He hit our hull, which is actually quite well angled anyway, so it didn't really matter. Oh no, it was a Type 61, so that is the Tier 9 Chinese medium tank. So now I see there's a 54E1, so that is obviously our Tier 9 counterpart. We're going to push down, see if we can get some more damage. Obviously we're on a decent amount of pens here, with 15, and we've got 4 spotted, 4 track targets, even not spotted targets. We've also got 1 spotted ribbon, and also 11 critical hits, so that's why I usually carry Deadeye on my 57 Heavy. It just makes a bit of more of a troll if you ammo-rack someone, especially since you've got the 4 shots to make that happen. So we move over to the right hand side, see if we can pick up any more damage from this game. We've done 15 pens, so we've got a fairly decent game anyway. Turn left here a bit, see if we can go down and spot any enemies to get some spotted target hits, but we don't actually manage to. And the T54 gets spotted up there on low health, so I'm thinking there's not much point in even pushing up there. We haven't got a kill yet, but you see a full health Jagdtiger, and I was thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be so fromage. But one problem with that, there is still the camping Type 61 who pens us and tracks us, so I think it's time to kind of repair my tracks there. Don't want to be sat there getting farmed by the Type 61. And artillery just goes and lands a shot right next to us. As you can see, the kind of screen wobble when he hits near you, which is a pain in the ass. So we've got successfully 1 more pen than we did, and we've got 3 shots left in the magazine. Type 61 there gets hit, and we get a spotted target for that. I don't really know how that even works, but we'll take it. The Jagdtiger obviously died during this whole escapade with the RE and Type 61, etc. And we're going to try and see if we can get the RE before anyone else can, but I realise that there is a chieftain to my left in just a second, and I think, oh balls, he's much faster than me. His power to rate ratio I think is better, and he certainly will go faster up the hill. Let's see if we can get an advantage, especially when I've got steep slopes to climb like that. And then I realise, oh, it is someone I have on my friends list, so give him a cheeky old hit in the side there to just let him know that I'm here. I don't know that he actually spotted that it was me or not, but I messaged him after the game, well, joined his party even after the game, and just said hello. So we've got 2 shots left. The only reason I fired there is because I knew that I could easily use them 2 shots to kill the R8, and if I couldn't kill him in 1, then I'm pretty sure I would have been able to kill him in the 2, unless I bounced or unless I missed, but just have to make them shots count. Probably shouldn't have fired that shot, just said like affirmative or something using the LB button on the Xbox or the L1 button on the PlayStation, I believe, or L2, the top one of the 2 anyway. I haven't really played PlayStation in a long time. I used to play PS1 actually, and I think I had a PS2 as well. Used to play Spyro on that was a beast. But we put 1 into him, so we low roll there, but we managed to pick him up with the 2nd shot in the magazine. And we're up to 18 pens, 11 critical hits, 1 spotted target, 1 kill, 1 spotted target assist, and also some decent amount of track targets. So that was 6,842 damage, 1,625 assisted, and 1,030 blocks. So that was mainly due to the lower kind of hull area of our tank that kind of bounce the shots. Not many bounce off the turret unless it's really well angled and they just manage to hit an auto bounce angle. But anyway, Other than that, as you can see, we don't actually manage to come top on our team. I do more spotted, I do more damage than the E75, but he comes above me because he got 3 kills. So, you know, it's all about getting the kills that actually really matters. But still on the first mark, we don't actually manage to get a mark on the actual barrel of the tank for some reason. I think they've changed that during the latest patch on World of Tanks console, on the update 3.5 that came out a couple days ago. So this was obviously the first game, and I only really noticed it then, and hopefully they will somehow fix it, or if they give us a reason why they don't actually have any marks on the 57 Heavies at the moment, then it would be kind of cool. But other than that, that was been the kind of gameplay section of the review. Now I'll get on to my opinions right now. So starting off, if you want something that's kind of troll, and you want something that's similar to the waffle, but you don't like the fact of being paper, then the 57 Heavy is something that kind of merges the two roles together between a heavy tank and a kind of auto-loading tank destroyer type gun, although it doesn't have the accuracy that you might want for a tank destroyer. So if you're wanting just complete troll, then the Waffle E100 is just there. I don't think it's balanced, but Wargaming says it is, so it is somehow. But we won't get into that in this video or any other video, I don't think, because it's just controversial and it's just not worth getting into with that little voice crack there. Sorry about that. But anyway, I would definitely recommend this tank to anyone that's just thinking about getting a strong tank at tier 10. And it's kind of noob friendly except from the turret armor, but then you can't do much with the turret armor anyway if you're a skill pair, other than knowing when to pull out and when not to pull out. And that kind of comes with the whole line, so you'll understand that a bit more as you play from the tier 8, the tier 9 upwards to the tier 10, and you soon get to grips with the fact that you've got 1600 DPM. You've got to understand that you can clip tier 7 heavies, no, tier 8 heavies even, sorry, it doesn't come up against tier 7s unless they fail platoon, but you can kind of know that if they're on 3/4 health, then you should be able to clip them with your clip, mostly tier 9s and some tier 10s. If they're on 3/4, you'll be able to actually take them out with your 4 shots, although it can be hit or miss on depending on what tank you're actually firing at. So make sure that you're aware of the enemy's health pool and your clip potential of 1600, and you should be able to use your 3202 DPM or whatever it is to make full use of that clip potential. And especially if you put on things like vents, you can't have a gun rammer because it is an autoloader, but I would definitely recommend sticking on vents. I would recommend the gun laying drive and also vert stabs if you can afford it with it, because you want to get that aiming time as best as possible. Obviously run the decent perks like 6 Sense, Brothers in Arms. I would also go with Deadeye just as a troll. I wouldn't go with that for the 3rd perk, but I'd stick it in there somewhere in the like 7 perks. I'd definitely pop it in there in the first 7 or first 6 or so, and just to kind of increase the chances of destroying someone's modules and stuff, and give you the slight advantage over them, especially since if you can hit the ammo rack, it definitely plays into part, because then it kind of levels their reload out with your whole entire magazine reload, and it's just really fromage when you're able to hit someone's ammo and then reload before they do, and put in 1600 health kind of hit points into them as well. So anyway guys, that has been the end of the review. I hope you have enjoyed. I think the last tank that I actually reviewed was the Super Pershing, so I will link that above in just a second, so just click the annotation if you want to go and see that. Otherwise you can see my most recent video about the physics, and I hope you guys once again have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.